Julie. I'm a textile artist and I'm taking part in Oxfordshire Art Week's virtual exhibition this year. I don't really know why I sew, I just love sewing. I love everything to do with fabric and thread. And I thought I would just introduce myself and show you some of the things that I've made in the past. So for instance, I've made things like these fabric notebooks here, which I'll talk a bit more about in a minute. Fabric lantern, it's like, the inspiration for this actually was tree bark. I was thinking about the textures on tree bark. So it looks like this when it's unlit, and then when you switch the light on, you get the impression of stained glass, light coming through a stained glass window. That was the inspiration for that. Other things I've made in the past are things like the framed pictures, which are on my wall here as part of my inspiration. And I've got a couple of projects which I'll be working on in the next month or so. One of which is to make an incubator quilt for King's Hospital in London. I've never done that before, so it'll be something completely new. And then I've got a quilt I'm making for one of my nephews, which should be a new project for me. So I like trying lots of new and different things. Anything that interests me to do with fabric and thread, I just love it. So I'll just talk a little bit about my notebooks. These notebooks have been something I've been developing over the past year. The inspiration for the notebooks is things like thinking about Trinidad, which is where I'm from originally, or special events like Valentine's earlier this year. I have also drawn inspiration from the daffodils and bulbs in the garden, in my very small garden. But I'll just say a bit more about my notebook, which is, this is the scarlet ibis, which is the national bird of Trinidad and Tobago. And I've had a picture of this up on my wall for some years and decided that I was inspired to actually try and turn it into fabric and thread, think about how I could blend the colours. The inside of the notebook is a little pocket here. And the birds come in their thousands to roost at the end of the day. And I wanted to capture a little bit of that image of the sky just full of red birds. The back of the notebook is a paper box made from Loctar paper with a little secret twist pocket on the top. Now, Loctar paper comes from Nepal and it's handmade in Nepal. And I really wanted to include something that had been made by somebody else, just to support artists in other parts of the world. On the back of the book, it's just labelled up Scarlet Ibis. So the idea with these little notebooks is that you could use it as a journal to record memories or a holiday or trips that you've had. You could put in photos, you can draw, you can do anything. It's like a little treasure journal. You can put something in the pocket and then find it 5 years later and think, oh, I'd forgotten about that. That's lovely. The notebooks on the side are put together using Coptic stitch, which is something new that I learned. I didn't know how to do that before. And then it's wrapped around with a machine wrapped cord. Absolutely love making these little books. I've made quite a few over the past year, either for commission or for sale in my shop. So that's a little bit about me, and I hope you've enjoyed finding out a little bit about me. So thank you very much.